So we did the nice little envelope. I like that envelope. We did another envelope in a pocket. Over here, I glued my page wrong, so we decided to do it this way, and we got a cute little tuck, which I like. Dearest Grace, your last letter was like a gentle rain to my heart. Thank you for the beautiful reminder that so much of life grows in ways we cannot see. You're so right. God has a way of working beneath the surface long before we see any evidence. As I've been thinking about what you wrote, I kept coming back to the roots in the garden. We don't see them, yet they are doing the most important work. The roots anchor the plant. They draw in the nourishment. They prepare the way for something to bloom. It takes time, it takes patience, but without deep roots, the flowers cannot last. I think our faith is much the same. The quiet, unseen days of study, prayer, obedience, and simply showing up, those are the roots. They may not feel exciting, but they are what give us strength when the winds come. Paul wrote, rooted and built up in him, strengthened in the faith, as you were taught, and overflowing with thankfulness. What a beautiful picture. Before we bloom, we are rooted. Before we overflow, we are strengthened. I'm learning that blooming is not the goal. Faithfulness is. Blooming is simply the results of having stayed rooted in the right place for the right season. There are days when I wished I could skip ahead. I want the answers, the clarity, the next chapter. But God keeps teaching me that He's more interested in growing a steady heart than in hurrying the timeline. When I feel impatient, I try to remember that the gardener cannot pull on the roots to make the plant grow faster. She can only tend faithfully, watering, weeding, nourishing, and waiting. God is the same with us. So I am choosing to be content with where I am today, rooted deep in His love, held steady by His promises, growing in ways I may not see yet. Thank you for being such an encouragement to me, dear friend. Your words remind me that I'm not alone in this beautiful, slow work of becoming. Let's keep trusting the gardener together. One day we will look back and see how He has been preparing us all along. I'll be praying for you this week that you will feel His steadfast love and peace in the midst of whatever season you are in. With affection, Eleanor. So what caught my eye was that Eleanor talked about the gardener. Who's the gardener? God is the gardener. So I'm just going to actually write this on my little letter. So today we're looking at rooted before blooming. I am going to go ahead and cut this one in half again. I'm undecided how I'm going to, well, you know what? I'm not going to cut it yet. I'll wait and see what we do with it. I do want some of these, so I'll go ahead and while I have this out and cut some. You know, sometimes it's just better to go ahead and get your scissors out and cut. So if you signed up for the newsletter, you should have these already in your box by the time the video goes up. And I am working on something to where I can have this to where people can access the letters later if they want to go back and they come in late and stuff. I just haven't decided how I'm going to do that yet. I'm thinking about a membership, maybe a archive society where you can go in and get all the back stuff, and possibly thinking some new digitals. I'm not sure. I'm thinking a couple of digitals a month. Maybe have like a small membership fee, and then we would have our specials in the group, in the archive society, and we would have. I'm thinking about doing like a 3-month exclusive digital to the members, and then after that, post it on Facebook, or not Facebook, but Etsy, for others to be able to get it. And so this week is, I know we're doing week 3 of videos, but when I'm filming, it's actually Monday, May 6th, or I keep wanting to go back to May for some reason. It's Monday, July 6th. So tomorrow I go to do my pre-op for my surgery on Friday. Then, for some reason, I feel like we already did these. Then Friday, I'm going in early. 7 o'clock is my appointment. They're wanting to do put some kind of dye in me where they can take a lymph node, lymph gland or something to make sure everything's good there. Because right now they feel like there's nothing that's gotten to my lymph glands yet. But the only way they're going to be sure is to take one out and check. My sister, she had breast cancer almost 12 years ago. She was 42. They took her left breast and all her lymph nodes out of that left side. So at the time that she done hers, she was the first daughter of the family to have breast cancer, of my mom's kids. The first sister, I guess you could say. And they told her, no, we can't do a mastectomy for you. You're too young. Of the double mastectomy. She wanted it, but they wouldn't let her. Now, she did the reconstruction on the left side. I have actually decided at this point I don't want reconstruction. I just don't know that I want stuff in my body, but that's a personal choice for everybody. So she did get an implant on that left side. Then my other sister, Savetta, she was 36 when they found hers. She wound up having to have chemo, and I think they did a lumpectomy. Don't think she had hers fully removed. She wanted to, both of them wanted to, just because of the same reason that I'm deciding that I want the full double mastectomy. So then my other sister, so I got 4 sisters. There's 5 girls. So then my other sister found out in May that she has breast cancer. She's 53, and I just turned 55. Yeah, I didn't think about that. So we have both opted for the full double mastectomy, and we were given that option. So she is having reconstructive surgery, but her reconstructive surgery, she says they're going to go in and take some kind of the fat or the tissue from her belly and use that for the implant, for the breast implants, and that somehow hook up the arteries and all, so that that tissue will be getting oxygen and stuff. So I don't know if this is something new. I think it was mentioned to me, but I had pretty much said right away I don't want implants. No, I don't know that I want to have my other parts moved around unless it was just necessary. And for me, I don't know. I'm sure that once I have the surgery and my boobs are gone and they're no longer there, because right now I'm a 42F, I believe, is the way they got it for that size. So I'm not real huge, but huge. It would be like a D in the older sizes. But I don't know. I might miss them. I might not. So that's just something I feel confident in making the decision for the mastectomy, the double mastectomy. But I don't know how I'm going to feel afterwards. I mean, I might not bother me. I have a feeling it's going to, but I can always be hopeful. And then they did tell me that I could have reconstructive surgery even 10 years from now. So that was definitely a good thing. Because of my family history, all of our girls are my girls and my nieces are being told to get mammograms as early as possible. So my girls are 34 and 36. So Ashley qualifies. Christy's not quite old enough, but I'm kind of checking into getting her in there. And then the other girls are younger than them, but I was told they need to get in and be checked too if they're grown, just so that we got something to go by, because it started so young with 2 of my sisters. And then my mom, my grandmother, my aunt, my cousin, on my mom's side. I know that we all have had it now, and so we're trying to figure out some kind of a registry or something that we could put this information for the family. I'm not sure quite how we're going to do that, but we'll see. Okay, so I wasn't going to cut all that out, but then I got to talking, and what happened. So what I was thinking about for today, let's see. So we did the nice little envelope. I like that envelope. We did another envelope in a pocket. Over here, I glued my page wrong, so we decided to do it this way, and we got a cute little tuck, which I like. Today, what I'm thinking about doing is taking this and making a pocket. This is just a quick pocket, and I guess that's why I was talking while I was cutting, because it's just going to take like a few seconds. And then I fold it back this way. I'm going to undo it. Actually, I want this a little bit bigger. So now this will go in here and hold my pocket. So let's see if I can do it slower. So you take your paper, you fold it where you got two mountains. They can be different sizes, so this could have been down here. I just kind of got it closer to that. So then you press that. You take one side, you fold it over, and see how it's bringing up this pocket here. There's going to be a pocket there. You take the other side and you do the same thing. Just push it down. And then we'll glue it after I ink it. I do want it inked. And we will glue it in. So here you go. I have about 5 or 6 pockets. And so you don't need to necessarily ink this whole thing. There's parts of it that I'm inking and parts of it I'm having to look to see if I want to ink it. So I'm looking to see what's going to be showing. I don't think that's going to show. No. Got that part. So right here I want to ink that. And this little part. I am really enjoying this archive journal that I've been making and working with Grace and Eleanor. We've been having fun with these letters. I hope you're enjoying it. Do you write letters and send them to anybody, or do you just like last week? I wrote my letter here just to me. Well, I said Eleanor and Grace, but it wasn't to anybody that was going to be able to read it right now. So, but it got some weight off of my chest, made me feel better that day. So I was really glad. Okay, so now what we're going to do with this, I may do it this way. Yeah, I think I will, just because of the writing the way it is. So that butterfly is upside down. I'm just going to glue right here. Glue it down. And then I'm going to glue right here too. And I'm going to put a little bit right there, just to hold that corner down. Okay. So this is one of the simplest pockets. I have a couple of more that I'm going to be showing you over the next few weeks. So we haven't done anything with this. Kind of thought we could put something like this over it just to make it look prettier, or give it some kind of a like this. Like this. We did it that way. So this page I think is going to have, actually what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to decide that this side of the page is for Rose and Eleanor's letters. And if something like this, I decide to just glue the whole side, and that will be that way. But then this side over here are for letters that I have that come in. So I have a postcard that I'm going to try and do a video for you today or tomorrow, so that I can get it in our archives before I have surgery. So I'm using fabric tack. And I'm fixing to use my finger to squish this all over because I don't want it thick. I'm going to, yeah. I wanted to hold that down, but I just like putting the textures in here. And I don't want it right there on my spine because that would put too much stuff in the spine. So, you know, I'm thinking while I'm doing this about my surgery, and I'm thinking, can't we just already be done with it and it be gone, and you know, it be next Wednesday instead of this Monday before the surgery? So Grace talked about all the stuff that was going on under the ground and the roots that God was making, and how He knows what's going on before you do. So in my case, He already knows that I'm having this surgery, and He also knows what's going to happen when I come out of surgery, and how things are going to be. And I don't even need to worry about it, but hey, I do. So I'm going to glue this down as a tuck because I think I'm not sure yet what we're going to do with our letter. I want to figure out a way to fold those. I'm going to stick it right there. But yeah, I mean, everything is got it underneath. And for me right now, it's my surgery. That's God working under there when I'm asleep. Because, you know, that's actually some of my worry is them putting me to sleep. And then waking up and it hurting. Although everybody, my mom says it doesn't hurt, but I don't know. But like my biopsy, that was just a piece of cake. I mean, surprisingly, and I did more worrying than I did not worrying. And in the end, I didn't need to do all that worrying. And that's what I'm trying to tell myself now, you know, is let God do this. So what I'm going to do, how do we want to do this? So I have to fold it like this on our back. See, we don't have anything on the back, which is fine. We don't have to have. But I actually am going to print on the back just because I'm sitting here and I can do this. So in this week's thing, you got the nice, well, this week you got some more ephemera, another envelope to put your letter in. You got the letter, Rooted Before Blooming, sent to Grace from Eleanor. Then on the back, because I wanted to put this in here where you could see it, I decided to use this. And it's in one of my kits on Etsy, but I'll put it in, see if I can go in there and put it in the file download for this week. That way you guys can have it because it's beautiful and it comes in, it does the colors just beautiful. I read this part. When I feel impatient, I try to remember that the gardener cannot pull on the roots to make the plant grow faster. She can only tend faithfully, watering, weeding, nourishing, and waiting. So when I read, these are days when I wished I could skip ahead. Actually, it's me today. I'm wanting to skip ahead on past Friday. I want the answer, the clarity, the next chapter. I do. Really bad. But God's saying, no, I need to trust Him, and I'm doing my best, and I'm doing all I can to let God take care of this. He's more interested in growing a steady heart than in hurrying the timeline. So He's helping me calm down this week and just not stress. So I hope that you will also. So what I would like to do is have this where it can be seen. I think I will do it that way. We started to cut it, but I think that would look beautiful right back there in the back where you can see it. I don't know if I even have to worry with inking it because it might be looking pretty good. Yeah. So, and I'm going to leave this on here. I like how that's hanging out. You know, I found these in my stuff, and I thought that would look good as a, what do you call that, the conservatory window or something from Eleanor. One thing, though, I'm feeling like I need something to go with it, to kind of have it to sit here. Today I will remember. You know what? Actually, I'm going to fill that out. Today I will remember that the gardener. Did I say that right? I think I did. That the gardener has his hands wrapped around me. So I do not need to worry. And I was going on this short. So actually, I think that would be the perfect place to put this. It's maybe right here. I could put a little thing behind it. I'm going to put this in here. If I get it off of its thing. Let's see. I may not be able to. There it goes. I feel it. I feel it. All right. So do I want this right here? I think I want it right there. Okay. And then I'm going to put this kind of right in there. So I hope that if you have things on your heart this week, that you just trust in God and let Him be the gardener and let Him decide when it's time for those roots to start growing and for that flower to bloom. It's not easy, I know, because I'm sitting here and I'm being honest. I'm worried about Friday, but I also know that God is there and He's taking care of me. So I'm not to worry about it. So I'm going to put this, actually I'm going to put this down first. I don't know why I'm trying to put the other one. And when you're doing your archives, you can put your own notes in here, just like this. Let me see. Kind of wanted that right there, and then this to kind of poke out. Yeah. And I don't know, today I just felt like I needed to put that in there and put my words out there to share with other people, because I know that there are a lot of us that have those days. We just feel like, when is that gardener going to start letting our plants grow? Okay. So then I have some of these. I do want to put some of them on here somewhere. That just blends in too much. No. God is building something beautiful. Let's see if I can get that. Actually, I'm just going to cut across. I ain't that good at the circle part. So the other thing with your little pocket here, you can put your stuff in there and have it for later. So you got nice full pockets to put all this in. Let's see. Let your lives be built on Him. I think that was on this one. No, it's not. It looks like it though, don't it? All right, let me trim this. I'm going to put this right there. I like the way it goes. I love these little notes. You know what, that almost blends in too much, but it'll be all right. So we can put our notes paper right there. Let's see, these littler ones can go in there behind it. You can just kind of tuck them in. They're going to be too long for this, or too short for this to really put them in the back, but you can just tuck them in there. You'll find them eventually. That's what I say anyway. I'll find them eventually. There. We had a bigger one. Where did I put it? There it goes. So instead of doing the circle, I'm just cutting these off at an angle. And I thought about backing this so it'd be stronger. But to be honest, in this book, I probably don't need to. I thought about yesterday's stuff or last week's. This here it's a lot stronger, but it's thicker too. So I'm going to start trying to decide where I want to really add those or not. I had something in my hand that I wanted to put on here. So I hope you've been enjoying this. I have. I keep saying that, don't I? Okay. And I'll stick you right there, maybe. I don't know. I have this thing I want stuff to be perfectly straight. All right, so we still need one more thing to do. Ah, rip out my paper. Look at that. Oh well, we're going to fix it. That's what happens with archives, though, you know. So you just put it down, keep going. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way. So do you remember our registry of correspondence and a registry of dispatches? Well, I haven't got any dispatches. I haven't sent anything out this week. No, wait a minute. I did send out the letter to Eleanor. You know, I forgot to even put that in here. So I need to go in here and do that real quick. It's going to be, actually, I did it as a correspondence. So it's, okay. So that didn't go in here. This is the dispatches for more for Cargo Stitch Co. So what I did last week, we did this. And I'll tell you, that's just too much writing. It's too little. So I went and I decided that we need a main registry. So this is going to be for our outgoing letters. I have to fill it in. So my pages aren't lining up the way I want them to. This one is the page that shows you what we're doing. So what you put in here. I may do it that way, but this is the first. Yeah, I think that'll be my first page. So we got to fill that one out. And then I did this one, which is the Quiet Archives Registry of Correspondence. If you look, a lot different. So here I did, on this particular page, I put kind of what you're needing to do there. So Bloom Solely, Friendship Archives, so that's the content, who wrote the letter, who received the letter, you know, just the basic things. And then on this other side, this side and this side, you can see they're not on there. That way it didn't get in the way. So this is going to be version 2, or 1.2 for this. Actually, let's see. You know what I'm going to do? Because I'm not going to use this piece, I think I'm going to do. Just put that right there. Oh, you know what we can do? I don't know why I'm not thinking about that. We can do a flip. Then I don't need that other piece too much. I could have folded it in half, but I don't think I want to do that. That's a big old piece of tape, ain't it? Oh well, we already got it out. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is going to go in here like this. So this is actually our next page. And I decided I wanted it flipping out instead of in, so that's why it's on this side. You can do however you want. So now when you come in here, there won't be all that as much bulk in the middle, but you can flip this open. We can put some pictures there if we want. Right now I'm just going to flip it to the other side so I can write this week's correspondence somewhere. So we are up to our registry number. So the registry numbers I've decided. What did I decide? that we were going to use. So this is going to be E. Mine is going to be, this will be 001 ES. So what I'm doing is by week. So week 1, there were 2 letters, and I'm putting my initials. I'm putting Eleanor's initials. Week 2, which is right here, was from Grace. So we're going to put Grace right there. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to continue. So our registry number is QA, Correspondence, 2026. And then this one is episode 3. So that's where the 3 is coming from, episode 3. And who did I say? Oh no, EL. I'll try and do something that's got more of this on there. I have some more pages. I just didn't print them off yet. So I will add that to it so you can see it better. I thought that was on here, but it's not. Because down here you have the kind of the key. So I'll send that to you. The author is Eleanor. To Grace. I'm not sure what next Wednesday is. Hold on. And usually I date stuff the day I'm doing it, but because this is a series and it's about showing up until then, we're going to say July 17th. No, July 15th, sorry. 2026. The title of this letter is Rooted Before Blooming. The collection is Bloom Slowly. So you may have a collection, you may not. Bloom Slowly. This is Share with the Quiet Archive. So I have a place for private. That means that I don't share the letters with others. I just put them in there, and that's the way we go. So then the archivist notes. Don't skip ahead. I'm going to say don't rush to skip ahead. God is tending the flowers. See, I'm just going to put a mark through that because it's supposed to be a capital. God is tending the flowers. And that kind of says what was wrote this week in His time. Not ours. So this is 32-pound paper. I want to write this somewhere. Guess I'll write it. It just looks so nice. I don't want to write it on there. Here we go. 32-pound hammer mill. Version 1.2 to see how it's kind of coming over here. And we got our little notes on it. So then I need to number all this. Remember, we do have stamps coming. But that's okay. QAC 003. So then when we come in here and we look at this, we know that we can go back to the registry, and there it is. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that number on here too, somewhere. I think I'll write it back here. I don't like how this pen is so dark, but I don't have another one right here. So QAC. So when you're doing archives, there's a lot of writing and stuff, but hey, when you come back later and you see what you wrote like this, and you know that this week was about the gardener, then you know that something was going on. So today I am going to put on here 7/6/26. It's because that's today that I wrote it. Okay. So we do have page numbers, so I could put page numbers on there. Let's see. We didn't do that. So here, I'm going to just make a little spot. Page 17. Page 15. Grace is on 18 and 19. You know, this is the way they did it back then when they were doing all this. Page 21. Is they just wrote, they didn't have anything to correct it and print it off first and stuff like that. So then we have the other part of our archive, and I'm just going to do the one right now, I think. Let's see, we're starting with 001E, 001ES. So those were the two letters that were wrote the first week. By Eleanor, by me. And then over here, we've got 002, Grace. Yeah, I don't know what this ink is, but it is not my good ink. And then we got 003E. Well, I guess while we got it out, we can put these dates here. 74. 79. Actually, I think that should be 8. It should. 26. And then this one, the new one will be, you know, I don't have a place for the date. What did I say that one was going to be? The 15th. I put the date somewhere. So I might update this one. That's fine. We'll update it. So that one's going to be 7/15/26. So right here, I would write Eleanor. And I am going to start registering letters that I get from the community. And what I'm going to do is do the same kind of idea as use the initials of that person as to put with the week. And then for the correspondent and recipient, I will just use initials also. This was rooted before blooming. Yeah, I just don't like this. And you know, I may take this series collection out because it's on everything. And I could use more room to write right there. So that is our registry for this week. I do need a cover sheet for this one. This one's looking good. I'm going to go in here and finish filling that out offline, off camera. So let's keep trusting the gardener together. One day we'll look back and see how he has been preparing us all along. I really am enjoying that. And check your inbox, your download box. I will put that in there and put the updated registry in there for you. As we close today's letter from the quiet archives, remember that even the smallest moments are worth preserving. Thank you for joining me. Until next Wednesday, may you walk in peace, create with joy, and trust that God is writing a beautiful story one day at a time.